BTV. Is precious, or is it? Maybe. I don't know. Yes, it is. Or not.
Far over the misty mountains rise. Leave us standing upon the height. What was before.
Can you please welcome the cast and crew of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey.
And a lot has been made of the connection between me and Bilbo, because it seemed I didn't want to leave my home and family. But this job is worth it. It would have to be something that would be worth it in order to do that. And this is worth it.
In a way, I think The Hobbit is the heart that drives The Lord of the Rings. So there's incredible good humour and buoyancy and masterful storytelling.
Hey everyone, Brigitte Masters here with BTV. I'm down here in Wellington for the world premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. The cast of The Hobbit are going to be walking down the 600-metre long carpet, which also weighs 3.5 tons.
There'll be lots of people there that are very famous, and you know what? They love Wellington.
It is officially the coolest capital city in the world.
Over the last 10 years, every time I fly into Wellington Airport, I feel like the sense of calm and returning to home.
Behind me is Waitangi Park, which has been transformed into the Shire for the next week. Now the Shire is focusing on local artists who have worked on The Hobbit.
This is the cloak, the Fellowship wore in The Lord of the Rings. So Frodo, Sam, Legolas, all the good guys were dressed up in this the whole time.
All the cutlery, the knives, the forks, the spoons. There was one particular knife that I did that one of the senior bosses came in and said, look, this is what I want you to do. Now, this thing is going to be 16 feet long. And more recently, with The Hobbit, Gandalf now wears a magical silver scarf, which we have also created. And I said, I'm going to build a knife 16 feet long. And he said, no, 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 no. He said, that's how big it's going to be on screen. Because it's going to be zeroed in on. So make sure this one's the real deal.
Now, will you be attending the world premiere of The Hobbit?
I certainly shall, and I'll be wearing local fashion. Starfish have offered to do me a dress, and I'm wearing some recycled jewellery, so it'll be wonderful.
Hello, Brigitte Masters. This is a question for Phillipa and Peter. I'm intrigued to know what your favourite riddles are.
It's not so much the riddle, but the way that Martin and Andy play it. I like when he pulls of those faces and the answer is teeth. I always felt sorry for you because you had Andy Serkis coming at you at full steam, high octane.
Gollum has, for good or ill, being absorbed into the public consciousness in a big way, and I've heard literally thousands of impersonations of people doing their Gollum voice, and on a daily basis people ask me to do Gollum's voice, and so it was very weird sort of having to reclaim him.
We do work up until the last minute. It's just a habit we've fallen into. But you kind of, you keep your eye on the calendar. As long as we've got some petrol in the car and we can drive the movie to the embassy on time, we're okay.
It is about as magical as it can get, really. The fact that all these people have been camped here overnight. Thousands of people helped us work on the films, and now many, many thousands more have come out to celebrate. So it's a really humbling feeling.
It's amazing. I mean, they've been working so hard over the last few years for it. To see it all come together in the final days has been really incredible.
We were working on developing the script, and we were working on locations, design work, but we didn't have a green light because they couldn't green light the film because the situation with MGM wasn't resolved, and so that was the time when you literally didn't really know whether it was happening or not. But it was also psychologically difficult because as you're working on a project, you want to commit fully, you want to emotionally commit.
I honestly thought that I would never return to the character and come back to New Zealand in that capacity again, so it was an absolute gift, and to see Ian McKellen again and so many, Andy Serkis directing Second Unit.
I never thought my first outing as a featured director would be, on something of this scale. But he's incredibly collaborative. He gave me a lot of trust, but he's very exacting also, and my job was to be there to serve his vision.
Peter has been a 3D fan for a long time, and we've worked together doing testing and so on in terms of whether it's 3D or the 48 frames per second. He's obviously raising the bar yet again with this film with the high frame rate, which I'm very excited about.
The feeling that I have as a filmmaker is that I have a responsibility to look at the technology that's available to us now and to think of ways in which that technology can be used to enhance the cinema-going experience.
In the second movie, I'm probably not allowed to say this, but in the second movie we do this scene in barrels in a river, which is kind of insane.
The scenes with the dwarves were very hard because the poor guys had to wear all this makeup and prosthetics and costume, very heavy and hot.
And did you actually have to get into barrels?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I've been in a barrel.
It's quite interesting to arrive on the set, and within a month the levels of importance were established, with Graham being quite firmly on the top, beating us.
Yes, Dwalin, I suppose, wouldn't be your first choice of babysitter.
If you could pick anyone in real life to go on a real life adventure with, who would you choose and why?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to hang out with a pharaoh.
Australia and New Zealand are a bit reluctant to acknowledge the presence of a genius in their midst, but Peter's one of them.
He's created something that is unique. He's an extremely talented man and a good man as well. He's a decent human being.
I'm kind of bowled over by Peter because he's so fascinated with technology and advancing cinema, but he's equally fascinated with character and story, and put those two things together and you get the most incredible experience.
I feel nervous, I feel humble, I feel excited, I feel very thankful that so many people have come out to celebrate with us.
I'm going on an adventure.
From this